Hello everyone, it's Carly from the Poetry of Nice, and I have my weekly sales update video for you guys. This is for Etsy and eBay, and I did a little bit better this week, about $100 better than last week, so heading in the right direction. Anyway, I will jump in and I will do my absolute best to let you know what the item sold for, what I paid for it originally, where I got the item, and approximately how long it took for me to sell the item, because that matters. Okay, here we go. So first thing on Etsy is this vintage hamburger press. I actually picked up two of these for 25 cents a piece. So this cost me 25 cents. The first one sold almost right away. It was around Father's Day, so I think it was a Father's Day present, and it had a really cool like chef graphic on the front. This one was a lot more plain. The best that it had really was this sort of a whatever this graphic is down here from the brand. But anyway, paid 25 cents for it and eventually sold for $9.95 with buyer paying shipping. This was cross-posted on Etsy and eBay. It sold on Etsy. I picked this up for 50 cents. It was like a crossbody bag with a pretty good size to it. Some really nice detailing, like this wood keyring here, and then this key pull, the metal cat, Laurel Birch. Most people are familiar with her. She has these really funky looking cats, lots of bright colors. Did have a little bit of fading on the back here, which was disclosed both in the photographs and in the listing. And anyway, yes, paid 50 cents and it sold for $19.95 with buyer paying shipping. Another University of Tennessee vintage t-shirt sold. I picked this up last weekend for $1 and it sold in just a few days for $19.95 with buyer paying shipping. The UT stuff I just cannot keep in my store right now, which is really cool. So I'm forever on the lookout now for vintage UT apparel. It does really well, for me at least. Okay, this I picked up in a estate sale, and I would say that this was a mistake. I picked this up and then I realized afterwards that it did not have any of the cords that went with it. I just did not check that, like as you can see here, where something should plug in there, it just would not. There was nothing that came with it. So anyway, I sold it as a piece of decor essentially, because that's all it was good for at this point. But I picked it up for $1 and I actually still sold it for $9.95, and this was in my store for, oh my goodness, I would say about 2.5 months. So I only paid 20 cents for the listing fee on Etsy. I did not post this on eBay, so there's still a profit there. I picked this up a while ago. Oh my goodness, must have been at least 3 months, probably 4 months at least. And I paid about 25 cents for this, and it sold for $7.95. So it was full of some really cool graphics. I thought this was a really neat book. It was from 1960. I don't know. I thought it was awesome. Someone liked it too. I picked this up about a month ago at an estate sale. The brand was this Hort Root. Maybe, is that how you say it? Anyway, had a really cool lining, this like plaid tartan lining, as you can see here. I thought it was a really nice jacket. It was in very good shape. No stains or anything like that I could spot. So I paid $1 for it and it sold for $29.95. This I picked up about 3 or 4 weeks ago at that epic $15 church rummage sale that I went to. It cost me about 20 cents when everything was parted out. And I sold it for $14.95 with buyer paying shipping to someone who watches my YouTube channel. So if you're watching, hello, and thank you so much for buying it, and I hope that you love it. It had some really cool graphics here. It made me think of like old school tattoos almost, with all these swallows and things like that. I thought it was really amazing and a very cool poem. So I hope that they sincerely love it. And the last thing on Etsy was this little guy. So I picked him up at a yard sale for about 50 cents he cost me. And this was probably about 6 weeks ago. He's been up since then, because as many people would tell you, Christmas stuff does sell, sort of out of season. I did make a mistake with him, first of all, that I figured I would share with you. I put Elf on the Shelf in my listing, which I should not have done, obviously, because he is not technically an elf on the shelf, but he is an elf that is designed to sit on the shelf. He had these like metal bendy wire legs and things like that, like he was meant to sit there and watch. But anyway, I should not have put that in my listing, and my listing was taken down by Etsy. So I went ahead and changed everything, and the best that I could do was sitting elf. Christmas tree topper vintage elf, those kinds of things. Anyway, you get the idea. So I bought him for 50 cents and he sold for $22.95 with buyer paying shipping. All right, and onto eBay. So these finally sold. These were a really beautiful pair, like a salt grinder, salt shaker and a pepper grinder. They were really lovely. They marked made in Italy. They were very small, like very small. They were like 2 inches tall, pewter. And the box was a little bit beat up, as you can see there. But I picked them up for $2.50 at a yard sale, and they sold on sale for $31.99. I've had my store on a 20% off sale this week just to try and get some stuff going, get some offers in and sales and things like that. And honestly, it's helped. It really has helped. This finally sold. I will not be buying this again. I bought it for $2 at a thrift store. It's one of these like floppy disk banks. So I thought for $2, I'll just go ahead and give it a go. And it finally sold on sale for $10.39 with buyer paying shipping. So there was still some profit there. I did not have to renew it too many times. But yeah, I wouldn't bother again personally because it's big to store. It was a pain. This sold. I've had this for ages, and I guess I've just been waiting for the right person. It's an infantry division, a World War II one, and it had some really cool history to it. I did some research and put some of the history in the listing as well. And I had a gentleman ask me a few questions about it, just regarding its condition, which I was very happy to answer and send some additional photographs. And I bought it for 25 cents at a rummage sale. It looked like it had never been worn. It was in really good shape as far as I was concerned, and it sold for $19.99 on sale with buyer paying shipping. This little guy I picked up last weekend. I don't really do Littlest Pet Shop, but he was just kind of chilling on the side, and I have heard people mention about the dogs and the cats being pretty good. So anyway, I picked him up for a quarter because I figured it was a good chance to learn something. He was a corgi, and then I knew from looking on some of the Facebook groups that you had to look at the eye color and the shape that was in the eye as well. So this is blue eyes with a shimmer shape. And yeah, he was in pretty good shape. He had a little mark here that I disclosed, but other than that, she, whatever it is, was awesome. So I paid 25 cents and it sold for $6.39 on sale with buyer paying shipping. So hey, I learned something. And that was a quick sale. That was like a 2-day sale. So that was pretty good. This I've had forever and I would not buy again. I paid $5 for this at a yard sale right at the beginning of the season. So back when I was really learning stuff, I'm still learning stuff, but the learning curve was a little steeper back then. It's just a photo printer. Like I said, paid $5 for it. It came with all of the software and the inserts and all the bits and bobs that go with it, but it finally sold on sale for $14.99 with buyer paying shipping. Ugh, it sat forever. So I probably broke even after the amount of times that I had to relist it. Well, no, I probably made about $10 profit, but still, ugh. This you will probably remember from 2 weekends ago. I got this at an estate sale. Originally I had thought that it was sterling silver. I tested it and it was not sterling silver, but it was very cool. And so many people in the comments were amazing and told me that this was a mother of pearl inlay. And I was really grateful for that because I didn't have a clue. So I bought it for $15, and honestly, I took a best offer for $25 with buyer paying shipping, because I was just glad to make $10 profit in a week. And without it being still in silver, I didn't want to hold out too long, honestly. I probably could have been more patient and got more for it, but I was just really glad to make that $10 and just kind of get some money rolling, get some sales rolling on eBay, and hoping that the momentum kind of picks up as well. This I got at a yard sale. I picked it up about 2 months ago, I would say. I did cross post on Etsy and eBay, and I picked this up for $1 at the yard sale, and it sold for a best offer of $28 with buyer paying shipping. Oh, and I should mention as well, it's worth mentioning, so it was filled with all this vintage sewing malarkey, and for the longest time, this was my picture. This was my thumbnail on both sites, both platforms, and nothing was happening. I was getting some watches and some looks, but not much was happening, so I decided to go ahead and change my picture to this, and it sold within 4 days. And I really do think it's down to changing the picture to let the buyers know exactly what they were getting up front. I probably got more interest from that, so just you know, a little share there. I really think that changing that helped. This I picked up last week. Ugh. So this, obviously, like it or not, it's the right time of year, I suppose, for this. I found this down at the bottom of a box. It had not been taken care of at all. It had quite a few marks to it. You can probably see here there's a lot of scuffs and things like that. A lot of like chips to the wood, but it did have all of its sort of little bits and pieces. So all of the little UN flags were still there, and then like at the top, the masts and things were still there. So I put it on auction. I got one bid and I sold it for $14.99. I paid 50 cents for it. Buyer did pay shipping. Honestly, I was glad to turn 50 cents into a dollar. Into, sorry, $15 because it just was in not in good shape. Now these actually sell for like $100 if they're in mint condition, which is really cool. But honestly, I was grateful to get the $15. And I hope whoever bought it enjoys it and maybe has some fun restoring it. I did put in there that it would be a great restoration piece, so maybe that's what they intend to do with it. But I was very glad to sort of pass that along to someone who would care about it. It was definitely in disarray and had not been stored very well, but you know, new home. And this I picked up for 20 cents at a church rummage sale. And it sold for a best offer of $25 with buyer paying shipping. I thought it was really cool. It was only from the 90s. It wasn't terribly old, but it's just a messenger bag from Delta Airlines. And I already got feedback on that, and they loved it, which I'm thrilled about. I'm glad that they really liked it. This I paid 15 cents for at a rummage sale. It is not official Harry Potter, which I made sure to say everywhere, but it is the Gryffindor colors, and it has this little guy down here that is suggestive of Gryffindor. So anyway, this sort of trying to be Harry Potter style Gryffindor sweater sold on sale for $11.99. So I paid 15 cents. So that's not bad at all with buyer paying shipping. And the very last thing to sell this week, I picked these up last week as well. I had a go with some flatware, like vintage flatware that I found. One that I found was fairly decent, and that's up at the moment. But this one was not a brand that was particularly sought after, and I could not for the life of me find the pattern. So I ended up putting swirls as my description because I just couldn't do anything else. Anyway, so I took a best offer on this. I paid $3 for it, and the buyer paid $20.55 and shipping as well. So, you know, that's a quick $15 profit in just a few days, which again, I'm happy for. That works for me. So let me tell you my numbers for this week. So my net profit on Etsy, and this is after the cost of buying the items, which I'll tell you about in a second, any final value fees and any listing fees. My net profit on Etsy this week was $126.44. So, you know, that'll do. And then my net profit on eBay after all of those factors as well was $183.35. So the amount that I spent on all of the items that I showed you today, all of those things, was a total of $43.35. And again, after final value fees, listing fees, the cost of having my eBay shop, all of those different factors, the net profit this week for everything was $266.44. So it is up from last week, which, you know, I'll take it. Let's keep going. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, just go ahead and throw them down in the bottom, and I will do my best to get back to you ASAP. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy the fall weather that's finally rolling in. Yay. All right. Have a great one, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.